hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on another fine episode of The High Ground. And as usual, joining me, my partner in crime here tonight, we have Mike the Dad Vader. What is going on, brother?
What is up? How are we doing?
Doing good, man. Let me do this once again every time StreamYard just flips us off.
AI just don't learn.
Yeah, I know, right? But again, I don't want to be too harsh on the AI because then when it becomes Skynet, I'm like, hey, remember, I was nice to
Remember,
you, okay? Hold back the lashes. So yeah, we got quite a show tonight, don't we? It's gonna be fun. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of ground to cover. Um, First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us here. I hope that your week is going great. I hope that you're having a great Wednesday. And if not, the weekend is just around the corner. All right. Tomorrow's
almost
Thursday.
there.
Exactly. You can almost taste it. We're almost to the finish line. So hold on. And I hope that your week gets better if it hasn't been great. But if it has, I'm glad for you. Let us know. So today we have a very, very special guest for the first time here in the bunker. Um, so great member of the community, great insight into one of those how can we say it? One of those categories of the community that we're starting to explore a little bit more, and especially thanks to Mike here, Dad Vader, doing some recruiting, some scouting, and letting us into uh, the uh, the behind the scenes, of where the magic happens. So we got a great guest, like I said. We'll bring her in, but I wanna I wanna say that we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. If you guys have questions, please feel free to post them here on the chat. Let's keep it respectful, right? We want to make a good impression first time, so let's all have fun. And yeah, we'll definitely have a great show tonight. We got Chris from the Man Collect saying, "What's up, guys? Welcome, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you." So without further ado, we're gonna bring in our guest for tonight. Amazing cosplayer, great member of the community, has some awesome stories to tell us tonight. And so here she is. Without further ado, TJ from Drop It Like It's Hot. What's going on, TJ?
Hello. Hi,
Welcome, welcome.
guys. I'm also nice to AI. I say please and thank you in
There you
ChatGPT.
go. Hey.
So,
Oh, there you go. See, you're
you
you're
know,
winning already.
You got to. One day it's taking over, so might as well
I know.
pave the road.
I'm
Exactly,
nice to
right?
droids, right? You have to be nice to droids. Leia said.
Smart. Very
That's true.
smart. Very
That's
smart.
true.
Hey, like Dex said, right? If droid's good thing, there'd be none of us here.
Mhm.
So
Very
um,
true.
so welcome. Thank you for joining us
Thank
here
you.
in the bunker. We really appreciate it. First of all, I just wanted to say, and I said it last time when Dad Vader mentioned you were joining his on his Instagram. You win at the handle game. Okay,
Thank
drop it like it's
you.
hot. It's just a stroke of genius. It's simple. It's memorable. It's just perfect, right? It just I don't know. I loved it as soon as he said it. I was like, dang it, why didn't I think of that?
And I
Um,
can't take credit for it. I will have to say my husband thought of it. So,
oh
like,
yeah,
I can't take full credit, but
there you go.
I
Well,
try and live up to it.
we'll say that you were his muse to come up,
Yes.
with it. So there you go.
Inspiration
Yes.
that
Love
brought it.
Well,
that.
That's what it was.
exactly.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's still you. It's still you.
Love it.
Um, what's going on? Got OBP Kenobi Relics in the house saying hello there, everyone. Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. Um, so yeah, we um we like to kind of go back to the beginning whenever we have a new guest here, and just kind of for you to tell us, your secret origin, right? Like where did all this kind of started? Was it Star Wars? Was it maybe another property? So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit of like how you got started into like the geekdom, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a prequels kid. I was the perfect
Nice.
age for the prequels, and I will defend the prequels to my death. I love them so much. But
After my own heart. There you go. Same
yeah,
here.
and it's for me, I think I've always been into Star Wars since I saw the prequels. Um, I was always kind of the weird kid, the nerdy kid. It's just like I feel like a lot of us Star Wars fans are kind of the outsiders, but not the outsiders in a way. Like we all kind of felt different. And so I just
Agreed.
kind of found my community. And when I met my husband, it's like I always say it's like two drug addicts, but their drug of choice is Star Wars. And so it just like
I love that.
we clash
Yeah.
and our whole house is Star Wars. And it's because neither of us say no. So when it
Perfect.
comes to Star Wars. So it's been, the
What
past
about a 6 foot tall battle droid? We need that. Let's go.
yeah, I want people to be afraid when they walk in the door because we literally have 4
Perfect.
droids. We have HK, K2, a battle droid, and IG, all full size, like taller than me, 7 feet tall in our house. So
That's amazing.
it's a lot, but it's great. And it's been in the past couple of years, especially, we've just met our found family. So for us, it's like it has always been a love, and it's always been something I've held really close to my heart. But it was, it was never like accepted with a lot of my friends because they just didn't really like Star Wars, which is fine. But now I have that community, so I'm free to just be whoever I want. And I got older, and I don't really care what people think now. So I think
Yep.
that just blossomed everything for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've said it before 1,000 times here in the channel, but for me, the absolute best part of doing this, YouTube thing has been the community, right? Like you said, you kind of found, hey, you're not as alone as you thought, right?
Yes.
And some people have, crazy in sync taste with you, and you're like, where were you like 20 years ago, right?
Right?
But
Right? Yeah.
right, but yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. I think Mike had a similar experience with that. Growing up, sort of in a almost geekless, right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in
environment.
the
Like,
closet as a geeky nerd that loved Star Wars, and everybody
Yes.
else was all jocks or listening
Yes.
to rap music, trying to go down that road. And I'm like, I just want a lightsaber. Like, that's it.
Yes.
exactly.
But yeah, definitely like same sentiment. Like we get older and we find our people, and it's more family because we're all vibing on the same thing. So definitely resonates with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you don't have to like hide who you are around
Yeah,
our people and in our community. So you can get excited and they share the excitement, which is such a big thing when you've never had that
Or the
before.
disappointment.
Yes. Yeah. Or that. Or
all
that.
that. Yeah. All right. You know what? Let me switch out here our layout. There we go. Isn't that
Oh,
much better?
I'm so big
Yeah,
and large.
nobody
There you
wants
go.
to see our ugly mugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I
Oh
could like squeeze
no.
us out of the screen. I'm just kidding. But so right there with you. Same here. My journey began in for reals with Star Wars was the prequels. So
Yeah.
same thing. That's a hill I'm willing to die on any day of the week.
I'll be there
Uh,
with you.
yeah, there you go. So let me catch up here with the chat, and then we'll go a little bit more into that. Uh, so OBP says, I follow TJ on Instagram. Love her
Oh,
cosplays. Dude,
thank
we're gonna
you.
show some stuff, and trust me, there's plenty more to come as well. Hey, look who it is, LeBron Fett. Hello, everybody. He says, sorry I'm late. We can start now. Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you
Thank you.
for giving us the
Thank you.
green flag.
Holding and waiting.
Exactly. Hey, LeBron says OBP. Hi, Relic says LeBron. We got Daniel, the legacy of nerd, in the house
Yo.
saying, yo, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you, man. We got the Dad Vader pulling double duty here. Thank you. Appreciate you. LeBron saying hi to Legacy, saying hi to Dad Vader. OBP saying hi to Legacy as well. LeBron's here, says Legacy. Yeah, he is, right? Yo, Obi says Daniel. LeBron says, I am here. I know, man, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I know there's been quite a few hectic weeks for you with work and everything, so I really appreciate you stopping by. OBP says, none of us are going to be freaked out by a bunch of life-size droids. We'd just be jealous. That is actually very true. As
I
you were
just gotta weed
describing,
out. Yeah, I gotta weed out the
exactly,
people who would be scared, and then
right?
yeah,
Yeah, as you were going down the list, I was like, I kind of want one. I kind of want one now.
yeah.
uh, Chris saying hi to LeBron and Obi. We got Star Wars Gent in the house saying hello, my peeps. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. Hi to the man collect, says LeBron. We got Black Star 9 saying help there. I think what he meant to say was hello there.
Hello
So
there.
we'll go with that. Unless you're asking for help. And if so, blink twice. What's going on, Pablo? Thank you so much for joining, man. Appreciate you. Hello. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. We're
On
good.
Instagram, we've got people jumping in, but my buddy over here at Gory Comics,
Nice.
he's a little jealous about the HK. And then he also has a question: did you build it yourself? And if so,
I
he wants
didn't.
to see.
So I said that I'm kind of like Angelina Jolie and just collect everyone's droids that they don't want, and I adopt droids into my house from all different places.
I love it.
But we are going to make a droid. I think R2, because R2 is like our favorite. So R2 is probably going to be the next thing that we do that we'll actually make. But everything else we didn't make. We got it from friends. We adopted them.
Those are
I'm
some
sure
good
there's
friends. Let me
still
tell you that.
some assembly required. Like you're not gonna put that in a
Yeah.
vehicle, I don't think. So
No,
Yeah.
kind of
they're
put
not
it back
done.
together, right? So that
Yeah,
kind of works.
they need
Yeah.
some prep and some painting, but they still look phenomenal at my front door.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to get back a little bit. So was episode one, did you know what episode one was, before it came out? Or was it just one of those movies that you just went in and you're like, wow, I like this, like after watching it?
It came out in 97 or 99. I can't remember.
99. Yeah.
So I was 9.
Wow.
So for me, it was like
Now
my
we're
mom
old.
was
Right.
taking me to the movie theater, and I was like, "Ah, this is so cool. I love this." And I was the perfect age because that's literally what that movie was made for, was that age range.
Agreed.
So I didn't really know. And then after that, as I got a little bit older, I started to get into the OT and it just went from there. But I definitely was introduced as to like 2 Star Wars to the prequels.
Wow. So that's pretty cool, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Was there any nerdiness prior to that? Any Star Trek, any Ghostbusters, anything like that that you were kind of like, I kind of like this, but then Star Wars just blew it away?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't remember that. I just remember being a weird kid and then being like, oh, other weird kids like this, and I love this, and this is my thing. Like it just was very magnetic for me. So like
nice.
I can't quite remember if I was like into any sciencey stuff ever before that, but
But definitely after that.
yes.
So by the time of episode 2, right? 2002, 3 years later. So you're pretty much waiting for it. You're trying to read, the spoilers, watching the trailers, all that stuff.
Yeah, but you see it, and I think I still have like pictures in the theater when we went. So like
That's awesome.
but I don't have them now. But
Sure.
they're probably I'm from Canada, so they're probably in
Oh,
Canada somewhere at my mom's house. Yeah.
nice, nice. There you go. Another cool thing to come out of Canada. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So um, now, did you always sort of stay within the fandom? Because we had, after episode 3, we had a bit of a drop, right? Where nothing was really coming out until we hit Clone Wars, right, on TV. Well, first in theaters, technically, didn't do too well, and then we had it on TV, and then Rebels and such. Were you kind of into those already, or did it take a little while for you to catch up to them?
It took a while for me. I think I kind of fell off. Like I always loved it, and but I just kind of fell off a little bit. And
Gotcha.
then as I started to, not care what anyone thought about what I liked or, what was cool, um, I watched the Clone Wars late, and I have probably watched it through 10 times. It's my comfort show, so I've seen it
Nice.
so many times. And it's like for me that Clone Wars just solidified my love for Star Wars. It just we see Anakin as like we see Vader as like sad Anakin instead of just seeing him as Vader, like we
Exactly.
see so much. And so I think as like in my early 20s, I was like, this is it. This is what I love, and this is all I'm gonna think about now.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Did there
So
ever used to be a character that really clicked going into your future?
Just one, no,
Well,
just kidding.
maybe.
Ventress has been my girl. Like something about her, especially after reading Dark Disciple. Um, I will answer that. But after reading Dark Disciple, I always loved her, but then I just was there. It just clicked with me, and she has been who I just am now. Like I always loved Kenobi. He was my favorite before that.
Good
But
choice. Good choice.
Ventress is my girl.
Yeah. So in that vein, OBP Canary Relics asks, question: was Ventress your first Star Wars cosplay? Because it's amazing.
Thank you. It actually was my first character cosplay. So,
Okay.
my first ever cosplay was for the Star Cruiser, but it was
Whoa.
just an OC Jedi character that I did. But that kind of got me into like I've only been sewing for like 2 years since we've been in the Star Cruiser. So yeah, but Ventress was my first actual like replica cosplay. I don't know what you would call it, character cosplay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Character-based cosplay.
Screen accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, screen. Yeah, yeah.
Even though it
Yeah.
hasn't been on a big screen, little screen, but yeah.
Yet,
Well,
yet.
technically, she was for that 2008
She
movie
was so
for Clone Wars.
scary
Oh, yeah.
there. She
Yeah.
was so
Yeah, she did.
scary.
Yeah. But so you touched on something that I kind of want to go deeper into.
Yeah.
The Star Cruiser.
Yes.
So you were there, first of all, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about it? Because I don't know that I've met anybody that actually, went,
Yeah.
when obviously when it was still working.
I wish that every Star Wars fan got to go on it.
Nice.
We actually got married in Florida so that we could
Mhm.
honeymoon on the Star Cruiser. So the Star Cruiser was our
Perfect.
honeymoon.
That's
Very
perfect.
nice.
And we got to go, we were so lucky, and we got to go again on the 4th of the year that I closed, on May 4th.
Right.
So, but you walk into something that you have only dreamed about. And so you got to go all out, and people went crazy. And it's so hard because it's so hard to explain what it is. And I think that that's part of the downfall of what happened is like you can't even explain it because it kind of spoils everything. And so it's like you stepped onto a spaceship and you felt like you were on a spaceship. Like it
Wow.
was the I don't know what they call cast members. The cast members there were just absolutely phenomenal. I've met lifelong friends. It just was everything that I had hoped it would be.
That's awesome. I think so. I want to show here on your Instagram page because I think you have a couple of highlights from at
Yeah.
least from one of those trips, right?
Yeah.
So let me add it here, and I'll move you right up here. So you're
I think
there. You go.
Star Cruiser. Oh yeah, those are highlights. Yeah, from my story. So
This one here.
this was they called it the climate simulator. So you were allowed to go out there, and it was the climate of the planet we were landing on, which was Batu.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
And so that's you with some pretty nice shades right there.
yeah.
Dig
That's
it.
I was actually crying because we were leaving, so I had to put sunglasses on. Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. Hey, look at that.
Yeah. And so
Nice.
we met some of our closest friends that we have now through this entire experience. And it's people we would have never met normally.
Right.
It's people from all over the US, and we literally see them a couple times a year now, if
Oh, that's awesome.
hopefully
That's
more.
great.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. That's, absolutely the best part of, building up the community, right?
Yeah.
Just the friendships that come out of it.
We did a one way out. We did an
Nice.
escape. Yeah, that was super awesome. So like so many of us got to like we had a little Facebook group together, but that's a really great video if you ever want to watch what it was really like on there. And it just
Right.
I can't watch that without like having tears in my eyes. It was so wonderful. So and
Yeah,
it was
it
like
sounds like it was an amazing experience, really.
even the food, it looked like it was from space. It was so cool.
Nice. That is awesome. So there it is, with the Star Cruise in the back, right?
So that's your room. That's what your room looks like where you sleep.
Wow.
And it changes. So whatever planet
Right.
you're going on, and you can pick your side. So I didn't feel right. Well, this was before I was cosplaying as Ventress, but I
Mhm.
didn't feel right doing anything but Jedi. So
Okay.
there was experiences. You got to do lightsaber training. I guess I can kind of ruin it now because it's not open anymore. But there's like
Right.
actual training with like lightsabers, and things will like shoot at you and you have to block them.
Wow.
And then, every experience and every time you go on there is something different, no matter it's just what your choice. It's kind of like playing an RPG. Like it's literally an RPG in real life. It was really
Nice. Yeah.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned that this was your first cosplay, right? Basically.
Yes. Yeah.
So how did that come about? You're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna make this trip. We're going to, we're gonna be immersed right in this experience. I
Uh-huh.
kind of have to look the part. Was that kind of, or had you been wanting to do one before, and this was just kind of like the excuse?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I am so picky. So I looked on the internet for something that I wanted,
Okay.
and everything was like ridiculous expensive. Anything I liked was so expensive.
Yeah.
And I actually have autism. So for me, I'm like, I could do that. And then I could learn how to do it if I did. And so it's kind of like a superpower when you have autism. So
Yeah.
it's like, I just fully jumped in. I said, I guess I'll buy a sewing machine, and was like, I don't need patterns. What's that? I'll just put it
Exactly.
together, watch some YouTube videos. So,
That's
and
awesome.
I was really happy with how it came out, but it kind of lit a fire, and I now can't put that fire out, unfortunately, because it doesn't
Very much
stop.
so.
But yeah.
Very much so. See this, I was looking at this earlier, and this set looks amazing.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, there's me making a stupid face, but you got to like actually control parts of it and shoot
Wow.
enemies out of the sky, and it was just the coolest experience ever.
Yeah,
Do you
that
feel
looks
like the
really, really
time
cool.
frame was good enough, or did you feel like you wanted an extra day or two, or
I
how did
didn't
that feel?
sleep. Like you just don't sleep. Like you
Yep.
literally
There you go.
don't stop. And there's a sublight lounge where there's a sabacc table, so everyone has like, I forget what they call libations, they call them. And so they have like spacey drinks, and like, it's a whole show. So,
Right.
but I'm somebody who like kind of gets nervous around characters like in Disney. I don't like approaching them, but you
Mm,
couldn't help but be a part of the show, and you just had to be yourself. So you got to be yourself in Star Wars, and it was the
there you go.
coolest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds amazing. It's like the perfect experience.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. Thank you for sharing, that with us.
Yeah.
Let me jump back into the chat. I'm not ignoring you guys. It's just that was a very, very cool story. And like I said, I don't know that I've met anybody that actually got to go, let alone twice, by the way.
I'm so
Uh,
lucky. Spoiled brat.
so OBP saying hi to everybody. We got Seriously Star Wars, a fellow Canadian actually. So what's going on, man? Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Appreciate you joining. LeBron saying hi to Seriously Star Wars. Serious Star Wars saying hi to LeBron back. OBP says, I want a life size IG Chopper R2 and a K2 droid someday. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Get a
Uh,
3D
d-
printer. You can do
Yeah,
it yourself.
right.
I promise.
Juan, what's going on, brother? Saying hello there. Just passing by to say hello to all the Bunker Bunch and the guests. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. LeBron saying hi to Juan. Serious up. There you go. I called it. So, fellow
Yeah.
Canadian. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you. Star Wars Gen said, Obi, I'd go for a life size R2. Yeah, absolutely. Although I will say the life size choppers have grown on me quite a bit in the last like couple of years since I've
Yes.
actually started seeing them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's something about the colors and the design of it that I don't know. I
And it's Chopper.
exactly right. It's the what do they call it, the worst like war criminal in all of Star Wars.
He's the best. So yeah.
So we talked about that
Mhm.
OVP. Nope, skip ahead. Here we go. LeBron saying, question: what would be your dream Star Wars project?
Like to be a part of or to watch, because those are two different things.
Very true. What do you think, LeBron? Are we talking about sort of being involved or just to have it on TV or on the movies? Let us know. So OVP said, I want Star Wars would be most successful if they had incorporated stories from the prequels and OGs. Probably. I mean, who knows, right? We can only
But they
speculate.
couldn't,
But
because
I was
it
gonna say
was,
that.
yeah, because you go to Batu, and so they try to make it its own universe, and I think that was
Yeah,
part of it, and so they had to kind of
100%.
push forward more than anything, and so as much as I wish that could have happened, I don't think it would have worked. But honestly, you didn't even feel like it was like Disney Star Wars. Like there was new characters that you had only seen in like random Halcyon comics. So
Right.
it wasn't like Ray showed up at one point for like 5 seconds, but
Wow.
that's really the only sequels character that
Gotcha.
you see. So I
Yeah.
don't
Do
know.
you feel like Disney is finding themselves in like weird territory, uncharted water? Like we've got to push forward and we got to make this grow. So we have to introduce newer characters. We got to break away
Right.
from the older storyline, but also keep it true so that the older fans carry with it.
Yeah.
And then we flop on certain things. But they are in some weird territory, which is going to segue to a question here from Instagram here with Gory Comics. Ventress story evolve into now that we know that she's alive. Okay, so what are your hopes for Ventress's storyline to continue on now that we know that she's alive in Bad Batch?
That they cast me in some live action thing and I could
Oh,
just be Ventress forever.
There you
No,
go.
I think that
Sold.
there is some ways that she could be alive, and I think that there's so many things with the Night Sisters because they're such a diverse community that that could be such an amazing live action series that I would definitely watch because there's so many aspects to that because there's different clans of Night Sisters and they all are different. So there's a lot of like grittiness and rawness that could be like an Andor style show, in my opinion. And she could be a part of that too. Maybe like a prequel situation to see kind of how she was taken and her training with her master and
Yeah.
then turning kind of no dark side and watching that happen without it being a Skywalker, story. I don't
Agreed.
know.
No,
Yeah.
and I agree. It's one of those characters that would definitely. I don't think we've seen the last of for sure, right? And there's still plenty of stories to tell. I said it when Bad Batch was going on. That episode was not a Bad Batch episode. That episode was a pilot episode
Pilot.
for an
Yeah.
Asajj Ventress show, right?
Yes. And we saw her character development, and I think that they did that so beautifully because she was so much softer, but she was still her.
Oh
So
yeah,
like they did such a good job of that. And I was worried because there has
sure.
been some things that obviously like we all have things that we disagree with. So like when she came back and I was like, oh, like I panicked and I waited. I couldn't even enjoy Bad Batch because I was like, is it the episode yet?
This one,
Is it the
yes,
episode yet? And
yeah.
so, but I think that they did like a phenomenal job with her. And I know that she's a favorite of so many people,
Oh yeah,
especially in the Star Wars like backstage stuff. That everyone loves her, so I don't think that they're gonna do her wrong.
yeah,
Because
absolutely. I said it also at the time when the trailer came out. I'm like, why would you spoil this for us? Like, why would you drop this bomb? If
yeah,
you would have kept it under wraps and we just walk into that episode like any other episode of Bad Batch, that would have broken the internet. Like that
yeah,
would have been such an amazing moment. Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I have a problem now with most trailers. I'm not just picking on Bad Batch. Um,
It's the
Deadpool
whole
kind of did the
industry.
same
They
thing.
give
Yeah,
away
it's just
everything.
they want to secure, right? Like selling tickets. I'm like, I,
I don't watch them.
I
I don't watch them
yeah,
anymore. Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it's
On the
probably
same
for
way
the best,
something comes
honestly,
on that I want to
because
watch.
yeah, exactly. Because yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like they keep shooting themselves in the foot every time. They had something special that again, if kept under wraps, it would have been amazing. But I do want to take a step back here, guys, because for anybody that's not familiar with TJ's work, and we keep bringing up Asajj Ventress, but trust me, there's a good reason for that. So let me show you here a little bit of what we're talking about. So
so that was my first cosplay. That one and like that was my very first cosplay. That was not the
that
Star
was your
Cruiser
first
one.
one. That's
Yes,
crazy. That
and
is
I
insane.
made everything. So
Wow.
I refused to buy anything except for the actual belt buckle I got printed by somebody. But I made
Right.
every little piece of that. So
But then it didn't quite stop there. So
Oh,
it's a
uh,
lifestyle now.
absolutely. So there it is, some work in progress. Loving the statue, by the way. That Mythos statue is like severely awesome.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Even the sculptors of that one, uh, they reposted me and they reached out to me and were like, "This is
Oh,
so
no way.
amazing." So that was like a really cool compliment to have.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it shows. I want to show here. So this is more of pictures, during conventions. Okay, this one. I love this one because you can see all the
Can see everything.
intricacies. Yeah, exactly. Um, so that's crazy that this is, your first one.
Go big or
Because
go home, right? Like
yeah, there you go. There you go. Very much so. Um, so kind of like the Night Sister, look to her, right? Again, a little bit based on the mythos. And then we have more of a
that's
more of
my OC
yeah. And so
because she
this
doesn't have
is
hair. Yeah, that's
oops. See,
oh.
there you go. I mean, so when you said live action, I was like, yeah, no, I'm kind of sold on it.
I mean, I'm ready. I'll work for free, Lucasfilm. Just let me know where to be.
Right? So here we
Just
go.
for competition.
Yeah, dude, seriously. More of the I don't know if I can call it classic look, but maybe
Like
more of
Clone
the
Wars.
exactly more of the
Yeah.
Clone Wars look to her.
Yeah.
I think one that we're more familiar with. So
Yeah.
check that out. That's awesome.
I've
I love
made
this one.
that one so many times. Like,
Oh, really?
but because I'm such a perfectionist that the shirt didn't fit right, and it's because you're basing something off of a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's so hard because like I obviously you have to be super respectful because there's kids around and you don't want something to fall out when it shouldn't fall out, and like
Right.
you have to be
Oh,
so.
absolutely.
And I'm very cautious of that. So like there's like tape and like stuff till everything sits perfectly because I have to be
Right.
able to walk around for 8 hours. So
Yeah, that's the other part of it, right?
Mhm.
There is the functionality, but also there's got
Yes.
to be a degree of comfort because you're gonna be wearing this for
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and Mike and I have talked about this because when he's wearing his full, suit of armor, I'm like, dude, how are you not passing out like within 15 minutes?
You do almost every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
You black out
And
and you just go into a zone and you just do it for the kids.
there
Yes,
you go. Yeah,
exactly.
very much so. So now this one, I think is one of my favorites because we don't really get to see this outfit that much, really.
No. Which
And
I was saying to you earlier, it's like it's the easiest one. I don't know why people don't do it more. And I'm somebody who's like, yes, more Ventresses. I love that. So if you want to do
absolutely,
Ventress, do that one. It's easiest.
there you go. Yeah, pro tip right there. Check that out.
Mm, it's
That
literally
is
why I
awesome.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool. I love that dress. She's got the stormtroopers. I
She
didn't
was
even realize
so
that.
excited and so cute.
That's awesome. I'm sure that made her day.
Yeah.
So there you go. Very, very cool. So you've done how many versions of Ventress up to now?
I have done her Night Sister one. I have done episode one or season one,
Mm-hmm.
the Night Sister, the actual Night Sister one, and then I
Okay.
have like an OC one that I do. But I actually,
Uh-oh.
I'll bring this out just for this podcast
Oh,
because no one's seen it in real life
exclusive.
yet. Um, I got her Bad Batch backpack made
Nice.
and her belt over there, but it's too far away. I can't reach
That's
it.
all right.
But I'm going to be making. I kind of started it. This is how I work. Like I have every costume like 20% started, but this is my next one most likely. So the Bad
Makes
Batch
sense.
one will be the next
That
one I'm doing.
that looks great. Is that leather?
Yeah, so shout out to Delta Leatherworks if you need any like leather
Wow.
work done. He does completely custom stuff. I think he's in Poland, but we got our Mando belts from there. He is like phenomenal at leather work. So he does all custom stuff. And I was like, hey, so I have a challenge. I don't know if you want to do it, but
Nice.
yeah.
And I think they love that when we bring them
Oh yeah.
something new and that they're like, well, I've never done this. So it's like a project for them they get excited about. And then you get
Yeah.
like their top like notch work. So definitely
Yeah.
within the community, when you find your people, like they go 100% all out for you.
Yeah.
So getting back here into the chat, LeBron says, I meant watch, but both works. So what would be a project that you would want to watch regarding Star Wars, and then maybe one that you would like to be a part of?
I mean, like I said, I would love to be cast as Ventress in any way, shape,
Absolutely.
or form. Yeah, or even just the Night Sister, and we kind of talked about that. I would love to just see an expansion of the Night Sisters, and that whole planet of Dathomir, and even with like Maul and their
Yeah.
species and how they run their daily lives. I think it could be so interesting, and live action because we need it in live action.
More live action, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. We got a little bit of it right in the Tales of the Empire with
Yes.
um but that was obviously pushing forward, to catch up to Mando timeline, right?
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you. I kind of want to see more of the before, right?
Yeah.
And for Asajj, we only got a quick glimpse of her as a Padawan, right? And sort of her backstory was just like in a flash. Like we didn't really get much into it. So
Yeah.
there's plenty there, that's already
Yes.
established that we can
Yes.
cover. That can be like half of the first season. You just worry about the second half. And there's again there's a lot to tell. Um,
Well, and she had such a sisterhood with
yes,
her fellow Night Sisters. So, like, obviously, she had relationships with certain people, and she
exactly.
lost everything. So,
Yeah,
seeing that would be
yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. OBP says, good point. I think he's referencing the answer to the question regarding the Star Cruiser, right? If we
Oh,
thought it would be
yes.
more successful, if they would have sort of mixed in more eras, right?
I think
Eh,
honestly, the downfall was just the lack of being able to um, properly sell it because like it's really
yeah,
hard to sell a product that you can't explain in words. So
yeah,
I think that
right.
that was the biggest part of it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was definitely not a whole lot of information or
no,
maybe even description, right, of what the actual um, experience, right, was
yeah.
like. So we got Archer from Nerd Affiliate saying, "What's up, everyone?"
Hello.
LeBron saying hi to Archer. OBP doing the same. OBP says, "I wish they would have kept Ventress a secret in Bad Batch." Yes, like we said, dude, that would have changed my perspective, at least me talking personally, quite a bit. For that show. I've never hit it. I Bad Batch was hit and miss for me. There's some amazing episodes in there, and some other ones that I'm like, what am I watching? So
Yeah.
it just
Yeah,
kind
we
of,
brought that up a few times where it's like
yeah.
some solid adult stuff, and then it
Oh,
goes
dude.
into
And
we need
then
friends. And it's like, wait
right,
a minute,
and I'm
what?
like, yeah, what happened? Like, oh, this is how it
We need
being
friends
friends.
as adults too, though. Come on.
There you go.
Well, the PvP version of like instead of like
Yeah,
diving deep into an
I
adult
get
type thing,
you.
it was just like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
bubbles and rainbows,
Right.
and then unalive.
OVP says, just like Mando in season 2. Yeah, that's still one of the craziest, uh, secrets to have actually kept for so long and from
Yes.
so many people. So my head is off to everybody involved on that one because that still baffles me how they actually pulled it off. We got Chris from Thousand Ghosts. What's going on, man? Saying, good evening, everyone. I love TJ's work. The outfits are incredible.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
thank
they are.
you.
Don't worry, guys. We're gonna cover a few more too. OBP says it's great that TJ shows that she cares about the character and it's not out there showing too much skin like some cosplayers do.
I do my best, honestly. It's hard as a woman in the Star Wars community, and
Oh, I
I
bet.
I don't want to get too deep, but like,
Sure.
it's there's so many places, and you'd be surprised how many hate messages I get, being like, "You don't even like Star Wars," like blah blah
Right.
blah. And so, you know, I tend to dress super conservatively well, like to a degree, with
Sure.
my cosplay and anything to do with like social media. It's not that I'm not comfortable with myself. It's just that I want to kind of beat that stereotype before I
Right.
get blamed for that. But we're always going to have toxicity, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with showing skin if that's how you want to do it. But it's just not the direction that I'm going in. So
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I agree, right? And unfortunately, there is something to be said. I'm sure there's some instances where that might be the case, right? That it just
of
might be
course,
for show, etc. But
make your money,
I,
girl. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And hey, more power to them. But that doesn't mean that that's across the board, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
again, I think, talking to you for the first like 5 minutes, I think we've dispelled that, very consistently through this. So
I
Your
mean,
house
I
is
have
filled with
Zepho
graves. Yeah.
tattoos on my
yeah,
arms. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
That's not gonna be just for those don't they're not temporary, guys. So,
No.
but very good comment, OBP. Appreciate that, man. TJ, are you going to ICCC Con?
That's in LA, right? I think.
That is in Nashville next month, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, I don't think I am. I'm actually filming in a project
Oh,
around the same time that I can't give you too many details, but
nice.
we're also going to HelseyCon, which is the con for I think we're going to HelseyCon, which is in
Nice.
Florida at the end of this month. So that's for
Oh,
the
cool.
Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
So we've done so many cons this year that I would love to go to all of them, but
Yeah,
Flights
I
are
hear
I
you.
expensive.
wish.
Yeah.
So expensive. We drove to Dragon Con, which was the dumbest idea from
Wow.
Colorado, but we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. OBP says those kind of cosplay, in my opinion, are just disrespectful to the characters and others, showing way more skin than the character does. Yeah, and again, there's something to be said about the choices that they make, right? But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that everybody makes those same choices. We got Niño Grogu saying, "Buena miniatura, saludos de Chile, saludos hermano, ¿cómo estás?" So Niño is from Chile, and he pops into the chat
All
every
over
so
the
often, and
world.
we appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for
Prestige
checking us out.
worldwide.
Yeah, OBP saying, "I love the Bad Batch." Though, again, overall, I like the show. It had some of the best, honestly, like Star Wars theme episodes that we've seen in animation. But some of it just felt like a missed opportunity. Like they had some great elements that I felt they didn't quite use fully or to their full potential. Maybe not a bad show. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some episodes in there, I'm like, I don't know. It kind of didn't flow quite right. But again, if we've not would have known about Asajj, popping in, oh,
I probably
dude,
could have enjoyed it a little more because I
that
wouldn't be
oh,
like, God!
exactly right. Which we were all worried. I was like, oh, is that her? No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, next episode. It's like, oh, I see her. No, that's not it. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just kind of playing the guessing game, right? Like you said, every episode you're like, is this the one finally, or what are we doing? What is going on? We got Rex from Millennium Workshop saying, good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
So speaking of building stuff, Rex is a hugely talented builder. He has made some awesome stuff, through the
So
printer.
cool.
I think really where his stuff shines the most is the paint. He is an amazing artist when it comes to the props.
Right.
So he outdid Hasbro by far with that Stranger helmet. He printed his own and
Oh, yeah.
painted his own. It looks
Nice.
incredible. It's like show
Love that.
accurate. It's kind of nuts. And he will actually show you how to do it. So make sure that you're checking out his YouTube channel, his
Yay.
Instagram. So all of that good stuff, guys.
Yay for not
Hey.
gatekeeping. I love
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I'm all about that.
Absolutely, yeah. Which unfortunately, right, it does happen again. But Rex, he's very cool, very open about. I've asked him questions like, "Hey man, how do I do this?" And he'll answer you right away. We got Pop the Bounty Collector in the house saying, "What's going on, cuz? Thanks so much for joining, brother. Appreciate you. Love your cosplay. Thanks, man."
Thank you.
Hey, Pop says OBP. OBP says the haters don't know what they're talking about and shows they don't know the character. Ventress didn't run around with her butt hanging out. Yep, very much
Which
so.
they were sassy though. They did have some like man slaves, and there is some, like a little bit of a side that
Oh,
it
yeah.
could go a little PG-13 for sure if we do an
Right.
Andor style. So
Yeah, there you go.
but I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Hi, Rex says LeBron. Hey, Rex says OBP. Rex says hi, LeBron and OBP. OBP says missed opportunity in not showing us a bit more what happened. Dude, don't even go there. Sorry, it's
He's
a
baiting you.
sensitive
he's baiting
subject.
you on that question.
I know.
Trying to make you cry on a Wednesday
yeah.
out here.
Yeah, I know. All right, we're gonna move on from that. But yes, no Cody. Thousand Ghost says, "Are there any Marvel or DC characters you would like to cosplay as?" Ooh,
So
so
I am not a Marvel or DC girl, really. Like, I'll be honest. Star Wars has kind of been my focus, but I think I'm gonna do a Lara Croft because I have brown hair now, and I didn't have brown hair before. So that's
nice,
the only like non-Star Wars character that I've
cool.
really looked into building. But
Yeah,
yeah,
This is a slippery slope. You're about to go all in on that cosplay life.
I know.
yeah,
Help. Send help. I need like 5 more of me.
yeah, yeah.
But
Especially
it's
when
all
you're
fun. It's all
basically
fun.
building the
So
whole thing yourself.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, it's too much, but it's a lot, and I enjoy it. I love it. I hate it. I love it.
Absolutely. Johnny B. Good says, "Howdy, boys and TJ. Will you be attending SpaceCon?" Miss
Space.
Ventures, by the way, I grew up Clone Wars, so Ventures is definitely one of my faves.
Where's
So
SpaceCon?
SpaceCon is actually here in San Antonio for us at the end of October. And I'm going to segue because we're having some guests that you are no stranger to. So I kind of want you to, talk about this right here.
My boys! I love them so much. That might make me come to SpaceCon. So
There you
maybe
go.
now that I know that they're going to be, well, at least Hayden's going to be there, right? Is
Both.
Ewan going too?
both of them are gonna
Yeah.
be
Really?
there.
So actually have quite the lineup, to be honest with you, for SpaceCon. So it's a brand new con here in town in San Antonio. Um, they are going all out. We
They
have
maxed
Ewan.
out the credit cards.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's pretty bad. But we have Ewan, we had Hayden, we have Rosario Dawson, we have Giancarlo Esposito, we have Gina Carano, we have Ming Na Wen.
Ashley?
We no, not Ashley.
Not Ashley.
Not Ashley. No, no, not yet anyway. Because they're still announcing people.
They're still
Uh
announcing, so maybe.
I
yeah,
mean, I have so many friends in Texas, so I would love to come to a con there because there's a lot of people that I am so close with online that I haven't met in person.
there you go.
Um, Especially like Little Rex also. Yeah,
They're gonna be there. Definitely gonna
I
be there.
Oh yeah,
know,
they're
and I
definitely
just
gonna
I
be
We
there.
just
met
wanna
them.
just wanna hold him, and he's so
Yeah.
precious. I love him and his mom are great. So,
Did you
but yeah,
see the
no,
picture
this
where he's got the little cowboy hat?
yeah, like he makes my heart swell. He's so sweet. He calls me Miss TJ. I love it so much.
There you go.
But yeah, so this was at MegaCon earlier this year. And I actually have a
Okay.
really quick, funny story about this. So, the day before, I was Ventress, but I was the Clone Wars Ventress. So I have an open back. So I have to paint my entire body. And I
Wow.
wasn't thinking about taking it off. So usually I use an alcohol based paint. So it's really hard to get off. And for the next like 2 weeks, you'll see me and I'll look like almost moldy because there's like paint stuck on me still.
Wow.
But there was no way that I was going to meet them looking moldy. So I painted my whole body and then we literally scrubbed it with 90% alcohol because it's the only thing that'll take it off. Like it's,
Yikes.
you know, like those tattoos that are temporary tattoos you used to get as a kid and they'd like
Mhm.
stick on your, it's basically that, but my whole body.
Yikes.
So yeah, so my skin is so raw in this photo, but they were the sweetest people. And I had met Hayden in Denver the year before and he remembered who I was. Like they make you feel like you're important, which is really cool. And I
Yeah,
loved it so
they really do.
much. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm actually I'm trying to get this photo up here for SpaceCon.
do it.
So they've sold out a couple of times already. And then I don't know if they're adding or people are just canceling, but they'll pop up, every so often. There's like, oh, there's one available or two available.
Okay,
So I'm trying to snipe
get
those
on
out
it.
and get it
I'm
because
actually wearing the same shirt right now. Look at that.
oh, there you go. That's awesome. Which is a perfect shirt, by the way.
Well, because I know I'm tall. I'm so tall. So I knew I was going to be taller than you. And so I was like, I have to make this shirt because it says I have the high ground. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
worked.
Um, you're here in the high ground too.
I
So
know. It's
absolutely
perfect.
perfect. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I got to meet Hayden. Um, what was that, a month ago now? The weeks blur, but yeah,
About a month,
back
yeah.
in August in Chicago, and I got to take a picture with him and Mark Hamill. So the father and son
Oh,
dual, yeah, photo up.
jealous.
That was kind of nuts. Not gonna lie. Again, the credit card is still like melted, but yeah.
Worth it.
Oh
Worth
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Absolutely. So let me jump right back here into the chat. Where am I? Guys are on fire, by the way. So I appreciate each and every single one of you joining us
Yeah,
as
thank you,
always. And
guys.
if you guys have questions for TJ, now's the time, guys. Okay.
Ask away.
I'll be here.
Uh,
Also, if anyone's looking into getting into cosplay, I love sharing all my secrets with body paint and sewing and all that type of stuff. So
there you go.
I am not a gatekeeper. So if you're like, I'm too scared to make a cosplay, just message me and I might take a couple days to get back to you, but I'll definitely share all my secrets.
There you go. Including 90% rubbing alcohol. Just write that down.
Ugh, don't do that. Just
That's
don't do
exactly
it.
what
Yeah,
I
it's horrible.
So Rex says, thanks, bro. That means a lot. I'm interviewing Nick, the original creator of the Stranger helmet tomorrow. Oh, dude, that's
So
dope. I gotta check
cool.
that out. Yeah, dude. I think he'll be proud of your creation. Because you killed it. And mind you, Rex had just made his very first one, I believe. And then like a week later, Hasbro announced,
That's
that
real.
they
Of
were gonna
course.
be making,
Of course.
the the what is it, Black Series version of it. And everybody, on my feed was like, nope, Rex is better. It's like, nope, Rex looks
Yep.
better. It's like, nope, I'm not buying that. I'm buying Rex's. So it was kind
Love
of
that.
funny, just like the
Hasbro
timing.
dropped there. Not screen accurate, but
Yeah,
still
dude. But
Black
again,
Series.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the Black Series helmets. There's some pretty
Just some
good,
cool ones.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
some pretty good ones. I have, a few of them already. But when it comes to the Stranger, I agree. I think Rex ruined it for everybody because when he showed his like finished and painted, we're like, yeah, no, that it's like
It's
night
much
and
better.
day, dude. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's awesome, Rex. I gotta check that out for sure. Um, Poke General says OBP, dude. Yeah, don't get me started. We'll derail this show talking about Cody. Um, Josh Otterbohr saying, "Hey, bud, what's going on, man? Appreciate you joining the stream. Thank you. Go America, go Broncos." Rex says, "I can make you all the weapons for Lara Croft." Oh,
Ooh.
there you go.
Ooh, the H&K, the custom H&Ks. I
He
might
can
get
make
at
them.
you.
I'm pretty sure. You will. Yeah,
We'll
I'll send
talk.
you a link
We'll
to his
talk.
Instagram. He does
Yeah.
amazing work. Top notch, honestly. OBP said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not against cosplayers showing skin. Just be true to the characters they're playing. Absolutely.
I like that.
Rex said, if anyone's going to GalaxyCon, I just got a press pass in
Ooh.
December. Oh, nice, dude. Good job. OEP says, I wish I could go to SpaceCon. Dude, it'd be so awesome if you come down to town and like actually get to meet you in person, man. Hey, we got our brother Elijah Flex. What's going on, man? Saying Bunker Bunch. Appreciate you, man. So Elijah and I are gonna be hanging out in Nashville in a couple weeks. Flex, what up,
Nice.
bro? Says Rex. Flex Rex. Yeah, I think I got them right. Um, Flex is saying, "What's up, brother?" OBP saying hi to Flex as well. Thousand go say, I still am upset that I missed Hayden at Fan Expo Denver. Sadly, I was sick and could not go. Oh man,
Oh, are you
Oh,
from Denver also? I'm not in Denver, but I'm in Colorado, so
there you go.
yeah.
That's enough. OBP says Flex, and Johnny B. Good says, been around the custom scene for a while. So I hear you on the work. I actually been working on a record for some time now. By the way, if you attend SpaceCon, stop by my shop, Big John Geek Customs. I got you, girl.
Oh, thank you. I will. If I can make it there, I will make sure I say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. And let us know. Both
Yeah.
myself, of course, and Mike are gonna be at the show, hanging out with Hayden and Ewan. Just eating some tacos or something like that.
Oh, I'm so
Because
jealous.
that's how we
Stop
go.
it.
That's how we roll.
yep.
Oh,
That's
But
how
yeah,
we do it.
so Big John, great guy. Also, I got to meet him, earlier this year. Great builder. So yeah, definitely. I think you have some.
awesome.
Think you're gonna get
Thanks,
some help
guys.
with some of your
Thanks.
props now. So OBP says, "Dang man, I missed so many cool people at MegaCon this year." Yeah, yeah, it was quite the event.
Yeah, I think MegaCon, we're gonna like do a little less cons next year because my husband tattoos at MegaCon typically, so he's with
Oh no way!
Inconfusion. Yeah, so he like specializes in Star Wars tattoos. So or that's he does tattoos, I do the cosplay, and we both go to the same cons. But
That's
I
awesome.
don't think we'll miss MegaCon. MegaCon, San Diego, those are like two of the main ones we'll definitely still go to next
Sure,
year.
and they're huge shows too, so it makes sense.
So fun.
Um, OBP says, "I was cosplaying Obi-Wan. I wish I would have run into TJ.
Oh,
That would have been awesome." There you
that would have
go.
been so
Yeah,
Would have
good.
been a
yeah.
good one. Yep.
Absolutely. Rex is saying, bro, thank you so much. Nah, man, credit where credit is due, my man. Rex says, "You're making me sound way better than I am." Nah, I don't. I'm actually underselling you, if anything. Um, and we got Chris says, "Yeah, I'm
Ah,
out in
nice.
Aurora."
Nice.
There you go. So
Denver
okay,
or
so
Colorado peeps.
yeah, so if like Ventress wasn't enough for you to leave your mark on the cosplaying world, you went ahead and added yet another very cool. So this is you as well.
Yeah.
So
So this was like 6 months of me learning how to print stuff because I'd never printed anything before. I actually bought a
it's
3D
crazy to
printer.
me.
I bought it for my husband for Christmas, but it was like really for me. Like, let's be honest. But
Smart, smart.
yeah, we both benefited from it. So I printed and sized all of our armor, and I wanted to do like if Asajj was a Mando. So it actually has her tattoos on my helmet.
Oh no
And I
way!
did the feathers and
I
like
see that. Yeah.
I made the flight. Sewed the flight suit.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it was kind of like Night Sister Asajj crossover. So it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. It was probably one of my favorite things to troop in.
Yeah, this looks amazing, and
Thank
we were
you.
talking about this backstage, and the red on it just pops like incredibly. There's obviously different hues, different shades of red here, but I don't know, it just maybe because I haven't seen one like that, like
Yeah, they're usually
all,
more
all
muted. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
yeah, and
And
then the
you
combination,
kind
as
of
I was
brought up
telling you,
like paint. I was saying like you kind of brought up like how the paint made that helmet for the stranger. Like
yeah,
a lot of people don't realize when it comes to like custom characters or like even just a character that you're going off of like Vader, his color palette is so different. Like people are like it's black, like it's not black, it's
yeah,
gunmetal gray, and like
Yeah, but what
there's
exactly,
certain
kind of black? Like there's
yeah
like so many different shades. And I'll be honest, we painted this whole thing red and I was like, I hate it, it's purple. So we repainted it. So
yeah.
like it's been a journey. Yeah.
it looks incredible. I
Thank
absolutely love
you.
the red visor. That just kind of brings it all together, right?
Except for you
Um,
can't see. So
yeah,
I wanna
yeah.
point out if you ever see me at a con and I'm wearing this, speak loudly and
Mhm.
touch my shoulder because I'm not being a brat. I just can't hear you and I can't see you. So like
Right.
I still want to talk to you though.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mike has mentioned that a couple of times when he's in full suit, right?
Oh,
Um, sometimes you kind of have to, even sometimes get a spotter, right? Depending on how many people there are,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you'll have kids that you can't see,
You just
right?
shuffle. You
That's
gotta
yeah,
go like this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you end up
absolutely.
putting a fan in the helmet, or did you just do a
Yes.
regular
Okay.
blanket?
Because I'm an idiot and my flight suit, like the flight vest, is lined in fleece because I didn't have interfacing. And I'm trying to do the conversion because I know Celsius, but it was like in the like high 90s and we're outside and I'm wearing like a fleece vest. So like there was a point where I was like, I'm gonna pass out. So I just started drinking champagne and then put my fans on and we were fine. So
There you go. Smart.
yeah.
Very cool. And then this one, I got, this one, the yellow, just I absolutely love the way
Yeah.
it looks, the accents. Um,
He was going for like a Tatooine style.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Again, the different sort of different shades of gray. There's some brown in there, so it all just comes together very
So
good.
cool. Yeah.
But we saw, oh yeah, so this guy's here. So you were
Yeah.
mentioning that you worked on these guys too.
Yeah. So I printed all four. So the second one in his name's Tyler, Bourbon and Buckets. And we're really good friends with his wife Ashley as well, who we've all met through the community. So like this is part of
Awesome.
our little like friend family. But I was trying to build some Asajj, I don't remember which one it was, and he's like,
Mhm.
"So we're doing Mandos for Dragon Con, just so you know, but you have to print them." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're doing this." So I
That's
printed all
that's
four of
happening.
those, but they painted theirs. I wasn't about to paint that, but I printed all of those. I had no idea what I was doing, but I think it turned out okay.
I think it turned out amazing, honestly.
Oh, really
Uh,
good. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Thanks.
Kind of want a Mando now. Not gonna lie.
You do.
Um,
It's so fun. You feel
Yeah.
like such a badass. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that anyway, but yeah, I'll just be
Yeah,
more.
even
Just
more.
kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just you can like the inside shows on the outside with that.
There you
So
go.
like
I
it's
like
great.
that.
Yeah.
I really like that. You're projecting out. So we got Frankie from Raging Mando. Speaking of Mandos, in the house. What's going on,
Yay.
brother? Thank you so much for joining, man. OBP says, cool. I hope to see you both at MegaCon next year. The crowds are just so insane.
Yeah. They're stupid there.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos. Our good friend Tony from Star Wars Sith has been going for like the past 6 years or something like that. And yeah, it just keeps getting like exponentially,
It's
bigger.
crazy. Yeah.
OBP says, so printing armor stuff, how fragile is it?
Well, I have another little story.
Oh,
So, it's pretty fragile. So we went to Mosh Isley, which is like a Star Wars
nice.
punk party,
Yep.
and it was Mando themed. And long story short, I didn't want to wear my helmet because I was scared that it was going to break after I started having a few Jack and ginger ales.
Gotcha.
And
As one does.
yeah, and I did. I wore it anyways. We all wore like just a cutoff vest with our chests and our helmets. And sure enough, Thursday, so before the whole con even started, and I hadn't even got to wear my entire kit yet, my helmet got knocked off my head. It shattered almost in
Oh no.
half. The earpieces came off. The vent came off. I was like a hot mess, like sobbing like a child. But the boys fixed it, and you can't even tell now. Like that
Wow.
was after it cracked. So it is fragile to a point, but it's not. It's more like the scratchiness of it because you're using Bondo over top of everything. So like that's
Right.
gonna make it kind of like sand over top of everything. So it's super scratchable, but I mean, it's not made of glass. So I would love to have a resin printer, but I don't know. One day.
Yeah, and they're a whole different animal, right? Also,
Yeah.
so there's definitely some complexity, when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen one day, but
Yeah,
I'm just not
yeah,
there yet.
There's some other techniques too, like coating it with the was it fiberglass or something like that on the inside to strengthen it up. But I'm not an
Yeah.
expert with that. Like we've got plenty of buddies that do it down here, so I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's some tutorial stuff online that you could probably strengthen it up a tad.
yeah.
And it's honestly like not my favorite part of it. So I print and size everything and make sure the prints are super clean, and then I go, here you go to Paul, and then he does the rest of it. So we make a pretty good team.
I like that. Yeah, and the results are amazing. So,
Thank you.
so you were telling me this is a little bit of a Thrawn, inspired look
Yeah.
to him, right? So I
Yeah.
definitely see, obviously the white, the uniform, and then the blue and with the accents and stuff.
And he's got Thrawn's blaster. And that was kind of
Yeah.
unintentional, but I think it was like subliminal. It's his favorite character.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so they look great, and you
Outward
are,
projecting.
yeah, right, and you are tall, by the way. So I see you here.
I'm
You're
literally like hunched over.
yeah. I was gonna
So
say you're
I wear big
everybody's standing
platforms.
upright,
I
and
know.
you're still like
And I
taller
love
than
my
everybody.
short kings. So like I don't know
There you
why,
go.
I love my short men. So,
There
but
you go.
I'm like 6'2" when I have my shoes on. So
Wow.
I'm a tall girl, built like a
Yeah.
skinwalker or like a Kaminoan, I guess is better.
There you go. I like that. Kaminoan. We'll go with that. So Chris says, love the Sith looks, but now with the brown hair, how about trying a Jin Urso?
I'm not against that. I think I'll try Padme first, but
Oh,
I'll put Jin on my list for
there you
sure.
go. Very cool. OBP says that those mandas
Thank
are
you.
awesome. Great job. Yeah, they are. And again,
Thank you.
just the fact that you did them all, that's kind of nuts.
It was crazy.
Pablo's saying those look amazing.
Thank
Great job.
you.
So actually, Pablo's another very talented painter. So he prints a lot of the props. He has a life-size K2SO that he painted, and it looks insane. Um, Along with a B1 battle droid, if I'm not mistaken. Again, he prints all his stuff, but where I think he really shines is with the paint. He does a really, really good job at it. McClunky Cast in
That's
the
like one of the
house.
hardest
What's
parts too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah. And he nails it every time, like with the
Yeah,
weathering and stuff. I'm not a patient man, so
it's hard.
it's yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely difficult. What's going on, McClunky? Appreciate you coming in, man. Chris saying, cool, this year MegaCon is renting out Universal for Friday night until midnight.
Ooh,
Yikes.
love that.
Yikes. Makes sense though. I mean, Pablo saying, resin is also fragile. The FDM, you can always fiberglass it or add some epoxy resin to it. There you go.
Good call.
So let me get back here. Right.
Hey, it's
So
me.
yeah, and we love you, Mike, but we got a guest tonight, so
But it's all about me now.
exactly. So any upcoming shows? I think you mentioned one at the end of this month.
Doing HalcyCon, possibly. We're like 90% sure. So that's a Star Cruiser Con. I would love to make it out to Texas to something, just because we have so many friends there, and we want to. I've heard that con is really fun. But
Absolutely.
and I'm doing a top secret project that
Nice.
isn't really that top secret, but it's a top secret sort of thing. But it's not with Star Wars. I wish it was. I'm going to say that right now.
Okay.
But I'm doing some filming, so I'm part of a fan film that's coming, and it's going to be a long time filming. But I'll be traveling all around filming for the next little
Nice.
bit. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. So we
so
will
trying to
get to see you
hopefully.
in something. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hope so. So that's the big dream. I'm trying to manifest that and trust the force,
Yeah,
and
of
you
course.
never know what can happen. So just hoping that happens one day, but I'm ready. So
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And we're pretty sure it's gonna happen. Come on. You definitely got the talent for it.
Well,
And
thank
again,
you.
just you can see in the results that you definitely have a passion for it, that you love the
Yeah,
characters, and that shines,
thank you.
into the
That means
outcome,
so
right? I
much.
mean, those
Yeah.
those all of those costumes, honestly. I mean, I was kind of shocked when you said that was your first one for Asajj Ventress, because that was crazy. So speaking of first, so how did that feel, right? So you got your cosplay, you're like, all right, I think I like this the way it is. I'm ready. First event, putting it on. How was that going out to the floor for the very first time as
Do you
Asajj
want
Ventress?
do you want the Disney version, or you want the real version? Because there's two versions to that. Yes, it was wonderful, but
Sure.
I almost got a divorce because I was being such a brat,
Oh,
because
yikes.
my poor husband, I'm so sorry, but had never tried the body paint before. The first day I
Sure.
tried it, it took me 8 hours. We didn't even get on the
Wow.
floor. It was just it was a lot. And I think that my first experience was not fantastic on my part. But
Sure.
then when I got out there, even though my body paint's cracking and I feel like I look like crap and nothing's working, everyone went crazy for it because
Right.
you don't see a
I
lot
was
of
gonna say.
entrances.
No.
Yeah. But I have evolved, and I have learned, and I've stopped being a brat, and I've been better at it. And putting a bald cap on is super humbling, and I've learned how to do that really well. And I can't
Right.
I can't thank the people in the community enough, because so many people have helped me along with that. And so I've got it down to a science now, and I can get
Nice.
ready in 3-ish hours instead of 8.
Yeah,
Um,
that's quite the improvement.
yeah. Yeah, so it's now I feel like my experience is a lot better because it's not as stressful. But the first time, definitely seeing people's reactions and having people know me as Ventress without having makeup on has been the coolest thing ever.
Oh,
That
that
is,
is awesome.
yeah, people will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're Ventress, right?" And it's not. It just feels so good to say, "Yeah, I do that." Having
Nice.
people recognize that has been really awesome.
Yeah, that's
I think
awesome.
it's
And
definitely like a humbling experience to go through the growing process of doing your character. First couple of times I did Vader, I had stuff falling off of me, and I didn't feel happy with it. My armor wasn't the best. It's not 501st, and it's that's the standard that eventually I want to get to. So I'm always downing myself. But when you have kids, even adults, just freaking out over the character, it's definitely
Yeah,
humbling, and
yeah.
it kind of reinforces your passion to go out there and do it.
Yeah. And I think that that's the thing that stops a lot of people, is that
oh yeah,
fear. But just do it. Just do it. I
Do it.
have no idea what I'm doing, and I managed to be able to do it. So lean on people in the community, and know that other people see you like 20 times better than you see yourself. So that
True.
it's like a journey and like self-growth with cosplay, I feel like, as
Definitely.
well.
Yeah, that's actually a very good
I'm
point,
sure.
right? We tend to be pretty
Yes.
how do we call it? Pretty hard on ourselves, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
like we're pretty
Our
judgmental of
biggest
our own.
critics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm sure, like you said, that stopped more than a couple of people from going forward, right, and just trying it out.
Hmm.
So I appreciate sharing those insights, because
Yeah.
it shows that, yeah, like she looks amazing, in costume, but there was plenty of work to go, be with it, right? And there
Plenty
was
of
plenty of
ugly days. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right. So it's not just like a quick process, or sometimes even a simple one, to manage to get to that point. But once you
Yeah.
do, and like you said, once people see you and the kids see you, right, like that kind of makes it all worth it, right?
Yeah.
So very, very cool. Definitely a good advice for anybody out there thinking about doing it. Reach into your community. There's plenty of good people. We got plenty of them right here, even in the chat, right? Willing to help, willing to answer questions. And who knows, you'll get to meet them. You'll get to exchange stories, exchange techniques, right, at some point. And so we all grow together. Let's see, where was I?
Definitely make lifelong friends out of it too. So
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't
And then you
too
play Call
soon.
of Duty. And
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
you just yeah, that's how me and
yeah,
Mike met. Yeah.
yeah. You were telling me that backstage. I was like, oh, I didn't know that secret
I was
origin.
like, I don't even know his real name. I just call him either Tomcat or Dad Vader because like we just play
Nice.
Call of Duty together, and so
That's
it
awesome.
works.
That's
yep.
awesome. But hey, that's kind of the best kind of friends, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's funny you mention that, because we've had so we went to the first Rebels Comic Con earlier this year. Mike and myself here out here in
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas, and we met plenty of people, right, from YouTube, from Instagram and stuff. And I'm like, I know who you are, I know your handle, but I don't know your
But I
name.
don't know your name. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I see your
The,
face. I can see
the
almost the
funniest one is
icon.
turntable.
Yeah, exactly, right. So turntable to the dark side, great guy, but he never shows his face on his reels or on his videos, right?
Oh,
And so he's like, hey
smart.
man, I'm here on the show. And I'm like, oh cool. I was like, we'll meet up right now. And then like 2 minutes later, I tell Mike, what
You're like,
does he
wait,
look like? Yeah,
oh, I
exactly.
gotta meet him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, one,
That's
what does he look
amazing.
like? Two, what is his actual legal name? So even if I wanted to like yell it out into the crowd, like I don't know what his name. And so I remember just off of memory that at some point he did like, oh yeah, this is my face, type of thing. Like he's not like super strict about, oh, I'm never showing myself. It's just the stuff that he shows is usually like POV, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there, right, for like 5 minutes on his Instagram, just going back every
Rolling.
post.
Like,
Yeah, just scrolling, try to find his picture where he actually posted his face. So that was kind of funny.
oh.
So but yeah, so I totally understand what you're saying. It's one of those things that sometimes you talk for years, right? And then you're like, yeah, what is your name actually? Like,
That's when I
but
just make up nicknames. Then I'll remember the nickname easy,
there
so
you go.
it works.
Exactly. I like that. That works.
Yeah.
So Chris is saying rumors going around that they've already got it the Star Cruiser and started using it for storage, which is very sad news.
I'm
Well,
trying not to
yeah,
think about it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, we got Paul Marino saying,
Ask my
add a few
husband. He
hours
said,
to that 3 for getting ready.
quiet.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you, Paul. And Chris says, I would like to do a cosplay, but I'm a big guy and way too self-conscious.
Don't be
I
self-conscious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, there's always a Jedi, like a generic Jedi, right? That's
Or do
one
like
that
a temple guard, and then you could
there you
just,
go.
if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can just wear like a big cloak, and you'd probably be super comfortable in that and
Yeah.
not hot.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's another one actually.
Like wearing a
We
big
welcome
dress.
OB pieces.
everybody of all
Yeah,
sizes.
right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Speaking of OB pieces, I think the general should cosplay Bail Organa. I've never seen anyone cosplay him. Huh.
Ooh, I could
That's
see
true.
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right, all right.
He's a gangster too.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I think we're both Latinos, so we think I might be able to pull it off. Um, OBP says, in my opinion, Bale is the most undervalued character. He's done so much in the story, but I've never seen a figure of him. Statue art, nothing. Yeah. Um,
Just, I feel like Sideshow did. No, no.
he might have. I don't. Some of the earlier stuff, I have trouble remembering. To be honest, they
Yeah,
were cranking out some stuff in, like 10, 15 years ago. Especially when they renewed the license.
yeah,
So, well, you told us a little bit about the upcoming Bad Batch version of
yeah.
Ventress, which that's pretty exciting. That's gonna look great. Um, do you already kind of know when you would like to debut Lara Croft?
I don't know. I'm thinking probably for next Dragon Con, just
Okay.
have it in my back pocket for, the Sunday when you had too many Jack Daniels and you don't feel like putting on a full cosplay.
Yeah.
Because she's got
You can match it.
shorts and, it's easy. But I think that I'm just trying to do all the Assages. That's kind of
Nice.
my whole goal, and I'm doing
Yeah.
some OC ones, and so I have like 10 million things on the go. And so I actually so obviously I dyed my hair dark. I used to be blonde, but I shaved the side of my head so that we can actually tattoo her markings on the side of
Wow.
my head. So it looks kind of crazy right now, but I don't. It's kind of grown back in,
Right.
but this is all shaved. So we're gonna do like the whole side of my head with her.
That's awesome.
So I massage for life, and
There
then
you go.
I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's
Try to get
that's
robot legs so I can be Vader for life, but
there. You
nobody
go.
wants to do the surgery.
Nobody. Yeah.
No.
It's one of those
Yeah.
tricky ones that are like, I don't know if insurance will
One
cover it.
day.
So.
Yeah, one day you might be able to.
One day.
Don't
Yeah.
wish too hard for that, though.
Yeah. Exactly. And let's see. So Chris says, there are figures to him for
Yeah,
episode 2 and episode 3. At least, yeah. I
that's
have
what I
one of
thought.
the comic packs where it's Obi-Wan holding Luke, baby Luke, and Bale holding baby Leia on the 375. That's actually one of my favorite comic packs.
Yeah.
Clunkly says, I have some trooper armor for cosplay, and I have fans all throughout that suit, and I can still barely not sweat the whole time. I'll pick something comfortable for you if you want to cosplay. Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
TKs are not comfortable. Do
Yeah,
not do that for your first one if you want to be comfortable.
Can't walk.
very, very
Can't
true.
see it.
Yeah,
If you stand, you
it's
look here. That's it.
it's a
Right.
lot, but no, I mean, just do a version of what you wear already and then just put a Mando helmet on. You're like Mando on vacation. Like just start
There you go.
slow and you don't have to go all in.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. So you should have seen this guy, Darth
See
Vader,
people's
when
reactions, and I think it'll
when he pulls out like his original Darth Vader, like where he's got the
yeah,
helmet, the shoulder, the cape, but he's wearing the robe and like the coffee mug. Dude, people
yeah,
went crazy for that. Like he was like super
yeah,
popular. He was getting stopped like every 2 minutes, for pictures. So yeah,
yeah.
so to your point, right? You can
Crossover.
always sort of exactly. So you can always sort of mash up, come up with something original, something
Yeah,
comfortable, So very, very
Just
true.
have fun with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
It's supposed to be fun. It's not a lot of fun making them, I'll be honest, but I tricked myself into thinking I'm having fun, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, when you take on basically every aspect of the costume, that's kind of a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, and I started my whole like social media journey with lightsaber spinning. I didn't even cosplay before that, and
Okay.
so I wasn't even really planning on making things like little things, yeah, but it's definitely just like taken over my whole life, which I'm so grateful for. But it's you work 12 hours a day when a con's coming up, like it's a
Oh yeah,
lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Con crunch.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still do any? Do you still
Lightsaber.
bust a move every now and
I
then?
try, like you have to kind of keep up with it a little bit,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to like stay fluid with it, but I don't have as much time anymore. So
I can only
I
imagine.
definitely love it, but I'll always love lightsaber spinning. It's always a good time. But I have a lightsaber everywhere I go. If we go to Mexico, I bring a lightsaber.
Perfect.
Everywhere we travel. But it's not
That's
as
all.
much for sure.
It's not a
Yeah,
weapon; it's a walking stick. But it
Yeah,
I
is a
say
right.
it's a
weapon.
flashlight. When they look at my
Yeah.
bag, I just say it's a flashlight. See, and then I turn it on, and I just bring baselit ones, and they don't care.
Nice.
Yeah.
So OVP saying, it wasn't the Latino angle, it's the beard, General. The beard. Hey, I'll take it.
Beard,
Yeah.
beard bros.
So Paul is saying, I can brag enough about
Aw.
TJ and how hard she works and the quality and attention she puts into her cosplay. She works so hard and troops the con so well. It's so awesome to be a part of it. Absolutely, man. I think
Oh.
It doesn't take more than like one tiny scroll with your thumb to see the amount of work and effort and
I was gonna
talent
say,
that you have. So
Thank
definitely
you.
right there, you do an amazing job.
Thank
yeah,
you. That
yeah, absolutely.
means a
Also,
lot.
quick reminder, guys, on that vein, her Instagram page is linked in the description of this video. So make sure that you are following her. Um, OVP says, Bill is a great leader. That he is. That he is. I agree on
And a
that one.
handsome guy. Handsome
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, yeah. Thousand Ghost says, it does look like a lot of work, and people don't appreciate how much time and energy it does take to do these costumes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's not until somebody like actually tries it and you're like, dang, this is a lot.
I think most people think I buy mine.
Sure.
So which is fine. I don't really care, but
Right. Yeah, the real ones will know.
yeah.
McClunky says, dude, I got stuck on a broken escalator once at a convention. Pick something you can bend your legs in. Yikes.
I'd be undressing
Ooh,
at that point. I would be
Yikes.
taking my armor
yeah.
off. You're crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is wow, McClunky. That's quite the story, dude. That does not sound comfortable at all. Thousand Ghost says, I love the lightsaber spinning. I believe that's the first Instagrams I
Ah,
saw of yours. Nice.
thank
That's awesome,
you.
man.
When
So
you learned spinning, were you using like a straight hilt or were you trying to do like the Asajj, like curved?
So I'm struggling with my curved. It's not easy to spin, but luckily, like with Asaja's style, she's very like slashy. So a
Yeah.
lot of her moves are like slashes down and like this, and so like it's not a lot of like transitions between hands or anything like that. So I haven't practiced a ton with actually like flare or flow lightsaber spinning with her curved saber because the only curved ones I have are worth like a ridiculous amount, and I
right.
don't want to drop them. But um, for anyone wanting to get into like lightsaber stuff, get a cheap one off like Timu. Like you don't need something good. You're gonna yeet it across the room. You're gonna drop it a million times. Get a baselit, and there's so many YouTube videos out there. So just get
What's all those
ready to.
the bangers, the baselit, because you're gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
drop them, you're gonna bang them,
Yes.
you're gonna want to get all your bumps out with those. So
Yes.
yeah,
And I still
definitely.
hit myself in the back of the head all the time, like all the time.
Right. Right,
Yeah.
right. That's a good tip though, because yeah, some people go like, yeah, absolutely no, I want an $800 lightsaber, to twirl around and stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
maybe not at first,
Yeah, well, and even now, like if we go outside, I don't really bring my NeoPixels that often. I have one or two that like have been gifted to me that I'll bring that are easy to spin, but most of the time I'm using baselets because I can literally throw them across the room.
Yeah. Very true. That's a very good
They can
point.
take a beating too. They're not like we say they're cheap, but they can take a beating, and that's what they're made for. Like they know that these lightsabers here, people will be whacking them. So
Yes.
Yeah.
tons of lightsaber groups out there. I think we're all somehow tied to somebody, but
Yeah.
find the one that you like. They're all
Yeah.
over the place.
Nice. So, Chris, and you probably already know this, but the curved lightsaber was made for Christopher Lee because the arthritis in his hand didn't allow him to hold a straight saber. I
I did
actually
know
love
that.
Dooku's
Cool.
lightsaber hilt. That's one of my favorites, like ever.
Yeah.
Sith or
Um,
Jedi.
I was just gonna say, and then I saw the Jedi version. What was it? A couple of years back when they debuted Tales of the Jedi, and I don't know, man. I gotta tell you, I mean, the Sith version has been with us for what 20 plus years now, but man,
Yeah.
that Jedi one looks good. I
The
think it
answer
So
is
looks
always Sith.
I didn't love Dooku before
Yeah.
He kind of bothered me, I think, because of the whole Asajj arc. But
Sure.
there's a book of his, something Dooku, and I can't remember the first words, but he's on the cover with Asajj, and
Oh
it
yeah.
really dives into his backstory, and it's a really good read for anyone who likes Dooku, because it
Nice.
goes like when he was a child, and so like I actually like him now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And I gotta be honest, those little shorts again from Tales of the Jedi,
yeah,
they told the story in what, like 12 minutes or whatever that was.
yeah.
That was kind of nuts. Like that, it was impressive how much they actually crammed into, how much character development they crammed into those little shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the development was rapid, but it was also like very well done. So
Yeah, like
like
you.
like Dooku to me was kind of overlooked, and then just those
Yeah,
few episodes, like, oh, there's some deepness here.
yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
I haven't
agree.
read that book. That might be something I need to go check out.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say,
should.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I'm pretty sure, but
The
no, I haven't
audiobook
read
is
that
really
either.
good.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll do that
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
can't read.
It's
So
easier.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
good at
yeah.
that either. Yeah.
Absolutely. We got Viper Spit in the house saying hello there, just popping in for a little bit. Appreciate you, man. Hey, Viper says OVP. Hey, Obi says Viper. And McClunky says Dooku Jedi
Yeah,
Lost. There you
that's
go.
the name.
Yeah,
Great book.
great book. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for that, McClunky. Chris saying, hey, great book. The Tarkin book was also really good.
Ooh, haven't read that
Nice.
one.
I need to catch up on some of my reading. But we are nearing here the end of this amazing episode. We could just keep going talking about all the
Sounds
awesome
like we just
stuff
started.
yeah, exactly, that TJ has done.
Sorry, I
Um,
talk a lot.
no, this is absolutely, the best, because again, thank you for sharing, all of the insight,
Of
the
course.
little stories. I think we have managed to illustrate how much love and work and dedication, right, goes into looking as honestly as close to live action, like real Asajj Ventress, right, as we're gonna get. And I love that. I love that you love the character, right, and that you are still pursuing more, right. You're basically like, hey, I want.
Always.
Yeah, exactly. So always perfecting your craft and trying new things at the same time. So
Yeah,
thank you for that.
of
Our
course.
brother Daniel here reminding you guys to hit that like button before you exit the stream. I would greatly appreciate it because that's gonna let the mythical YouTube algorithm know, hey, we're doing a good
I
job.
like it.
We got an amazing guest tonight,
It's like
and
right here, right?
exactly.
Like,
And we always appreciate each and every single one of you joining us. But before we go, where can people find you, TJ?
so on Instagram, it's DropitlikeitsHoth.tj, and on TikTok, it's just DropitlikeitsHoth. So I'll be there.
There you go, guys. So make sure that after you exit the stream here, you go subscribe, follow all of that good stuff. Check out some of her lightsaber troll. We didn't actually get to show that much or any of it here, so you
That's
definitely
fine.
want to go check that out.
She don't
Check out
just look
her.
the part. She can definitely kick the ass too.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Do my
absolutely.
best. I promise I'm nice though. If you see me at a con, come say hi. I love to meet new people.
There you
Um,
go. So if you
I just
see,
have like RBF, but don't let it fool you. I
nice.
promise.
So if you see basically an Asajj Ventress that's been ripped, from the pages or from the
A
screen,
bald lady.
that's probably her right there.
It's
Uh,
probably me.
the most realistic Ventress you've ever seen. That's a good indication right there.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so thank you so much again for taking the time here to join us here in the
Yeah,
bunker. We'd love to have you back,
of
later
course.
on once you maybe added, that Bad Batch Ventress, which I'm sure is gonna
Yeah,
be awesome.
yeah.
Once hopefully that secret project moves a little bit, further,
Mm.
and maybe we can talk about it
Yep.
Mm.
a little bit more. So
I'd
that
love
would be
to.
pretty fun. So thank you
Yeah,
again. And everybody here, thank you so much, Bunker Bunch, as always, for joining us. Before we leave, I'd just like to remind you to also follow our good friend here, Mike, the Dad Vader, over on Instagram. And also, if you are on his live on Instagram, we appreciate you joining. Thank you for the questions as well. Make sure that you are checking him out every time we go live. We are usually try to do it every Wednesday around 8:30 p.m. So stay tuned for that. Also, please check us out on Facebook, General Economics Bunker, Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker, TikTok at general_Kenobis @general_bunker, and now on Threads at general.kenobis.bunker. So check us out all over social media. Again, thank you so much to everybody that joined here the stream. Thank you guys for the chat. It was bumping tonight. So thank you, Bunker Bunch. We really appreciate it. Last few comments here. Chris saying, great chat, TJ. You have a very cute dog.
Oh,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
OVP says, thanks, TJ. Great show, General
Thank
Dad
you.
Appreciate you, OVP. Thank you. And you have now inserted an idea into my mind about Bail Organa. So yeah, it's not
Go
cool, man.
ahead.
Don't mess with my mind. Uh, so thanks again. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. We will catch you on the next one. And remember, go check out TJ on Instagram and on TikTok. All right. That is going to do it for us. Signing off. Everybody have a good night.